going fast. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa, super fast. Hello, and welcome everybody to tonight's fantastic high-speed dinosaur action, even faster with the Pit Automaton. Oh my goodness, recently released with the Ether Drift set there. There's also a kind of similar legendary goblin that taps for multiple mana for activated abilities. That's really quite important with my Stampede Downs, but we'll get into why this could be so exciting. One thing, one creature, whatever it is, and it gets me too closer to getting that explosive amount playing the namesake Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. But I have one fantastic match, part of just the tail end. On my lunch break today, I faced off against number 20 Mythic Viper, VII. I don't know, but let me get that background out of the way. Okay, that's just why it looks like that. I was thinking of recording some voiceover for it, but it's about 1 minute and 40 seconds or so, and I'll just resize myself, and yeah, I had to start out with this because absolutely insane. Gruul aggro, anything fast, can be certainly pretty painful for this way to play dinosaurs, but I'm going to be going even faster than what I did here. So perhaps the Pit Automaton, which I have added in tonight, it's uncommon, so it's not hard on the wildcard budget, but the Pit Automaton really is going to pack a punch. I'll maybe pause in certain moments, but we've both won a game down to it. I top decked Vaultborn Tyrant to put out with Ghalta, so I gained a bit of life there. Very nice indeed. I played Ghalta to put another Ghalta out to get triggers with Vaultborn. So I thought, I'm pretty safe at 16, but this particular deck, I mean, they can make absolutely massive creatures. I knew I had to block with the Vaultborn and Ghalta to save myself. That mouse is a 7/7 double strike, dealing at least 14 damage plus the other creatures there. But I knew Vaultborn probably would die because that mouse is so big, and then I would gain some life and maybe it would work out. Of course, it could have been a little bit better just not attacking with the Tyrranax Rex, but I felt like I would be a little aggressive. I felt like it was going to be okay and worth a shot. Good to deal 18, but perhaps I did not need to attack with Tyrranax Rex, and I still would have got the job done. Look at this. Oh, I'm just glad I was recording. I thought maybe I could down to 8. Mouse is going to deal 10 based off of that. 11, 1, boom. They say oops, and oh my goodness. My oh my. And there you go. Wow. I wish it was, technically I'm doing that live, but perfect. If I can solve the aggro matchup for this particular way to play dinos, it's all over. It's lights out, I think, for flying up the ladder and devastating just about everybody. Not quite everybody, but yeah. If you happen to be new, though, the list, as always, in the description, a primer, and a link tree to the Discord if you want to be extra connected, or you can ask any questions. It is a pretty fantastic, amazing way, and like I said, the Pit Automaton, it taps for 2 colorless. Well, that's pretty darn fantastic. It's a creature pretty decently sized with the toughness there, so it buys a little bit of time due to that. Taps for 2. That can't usually ever be used to cast a creature, except with the always fantastic, the super classic Castle Garenbrig. 2 and 2 green. That 2 can be the 2 colorless from the Pit Automaton. All we need is 1 Sunken Citadel, chosen as green, to get the 2 for the activated ability of Castle, and then the Pit, and boom. We activate it to make 6 for a creature, 6 green, or their activated abilities too. This is just gonna potentially allow us to be even more explosive. Of course, it could get killed, but that's why it's in the sideboard. If I face off against an opponent that does not have too much removal, potentially no removal, bring this in to go even faster and smoke them. Of course, the question is, what would I take out to make space for this? At the moment, I'm eyeing up the Sylvan Scrying here. This thing for 2 gets me too closer. It grabs me something that gets me too closer. Either that's the Sunken to tap for 2 or Castle Garenbrig technically tapping for 2. I haven't made that point much before, but you have 2 Sunkens. They both tap for 2 to activate Castle Garenbrig's ability to make 6. 3 lands to make 6. You divide it up by 2 for each of the 3 and consider Castle Garenbrig tap for 2 in a sense, just to simplify things a little bit more. So if Sylvan's grabbing a Sunken, you're getting too closer. Grabbing a castle, you're getting too closer, as it always is grabbing. You basically never grab any of the other lands unless you're completely flooded. But now Pit Automaton, boom, too closer. Love it, love it. I wouldn't want Sylvan Scrying plus Pit Automaton. I think that would be perhaps a little bit closer. And it's not like the Automaton, you get to use its mana the turn it enters. Because it is a creature, you have to wait until you've controlled it from the beginning of your turn so that you can tap it. We'll see, we'll see. Pardon me. Oh, hopefully that's a sign of things to come. I'm going to be putting opponents to sleep and I'm not going to be putting myself to sleep. I might make some more coffee though. But yeah, otherwise the sideboard continuing to be pretty good. Cease, graveyard hate, enough graveyard hate for me at the very least. And you draw a card, you gain some life. Lovely stuff, lovely package right there. And back to nature too, still in, fog, certainly buying time. Pit Automaton plus the fog. I think that's going to be a pretty darn fantastic package right there. Just some scenarios. Okay, how do we get that explosive amount of mana? What would we want to see? It would require Sunken Citadel on turn 1, absolutely. We choose green, like I mentioned. You need the 2 green for Castle Garenbrig, and then it would have to be a forest type land that enters untapped on turn 2. Either the basic forest or Stomping Ground, and then you would play the Automaton, and then turn 3, you would have to see that Castle Garenbrig to play it, and it would enter untapped with the basic forest or the Stomping Ground. Then you have Sunken, so that's 2 mana plus the Automaton is another 2. You activate Castle, and you're left over with that 1 forest or that 1 Stomping Ground, and you have 7 mana, turn 3. Pretty good. It would be pretty awesome to play Vaultborn Tyrant at that point, but that is potentially a pretty hard scenario to come by for sure. Is it going to be too inconsistent? Is it going to happen that often? I don't know. Commercial District, of course, we can't play Pit Automaton on turn 2. I could play this on turn 1 and a Sunken Citadel on turn 2, but I still don't have 2 mana. By that point, I would have to wait until turn 3, and I might be wanting to go with an Archdruid's Charm, or potentially on turn 3, I would want to go with a Sylvan Scrying if I keep it in with the Pit Automaton. But if I'm looking for a Castle Garenbrig, the Automaton is not really helping me at all. I need Castle Garenbrig to unlock all that potential. Sylvan Scrying, at the very least, would get the castle to unlock the mana that Sunken Citadel provides and be very, very explosive. So still, 100% Sylvan Scrying is, a little bit better. It's going to take some practice, and I definitely want to see this in my opening hand, or maybe draw it. If the hand is quite fantastic without it, it would have to enter on turn 2 or turn 3, and well, we'll see. We'll see. It's worth a shot at the very least. One thing for 2 gets me ahead by 2 to cast those creatures, and I'm all for going faster than it already is. But man, that was a pretty cool finish to that match there, man. Hopefully I do it again. I think I cast Fog a little bit ago before I started recording, I was like, oh, am I actually going to do this? I only had time for one match. I brought a lot of food today, and I was like, oh, okay, see what we get. I knew it was an aggro match pretty fast, so I was going to be able to complete it whether I won or not, but fortunately I did win. That's a very interesting start indeed. I don't ever need more than 2 Sunkens, but... well, oh, look, a Thoughtseize. That's not bad. They're going to get rid of an Archdruid or a Commune, but I only need to see a Castle Garenbrig, and I'm making 7. 2 Sunkens in a castle is 6, the third Sunken, 7, boom, there you go. If it was 2 Sunkens and no other land, just the 2 Sunkens, I still probably would keep it. Hoping... yeah. Okay. You just draw Castle Garenbrig and, you smoke them, I guess. Yeah, so grab a Ghalta at this point. We might lose it to a Thoughtseize, perhaps, or could be Fable. Might be Fable. Oh boy. Or another Thoughtseize. At the very least, they're not stopping me from making 6, 7, or 8. They can't. Which is quite fantastic indeed. I can't make 6 there. Castle Garenbrig would enter a tap, so might as well be... yeah, commercial district, see what's on top. Really, I should have sent that whatchamacallit to the bottom. Regisaur Alpha, maybe it would have been better, but I just like the dice rolling of Trumpeting Carnosaur. And we'll see. Oh, excuse me. A Vaultborn Tyrant would have been definitely ideal. Actually, you know what? We'll go with the other Sunken. I'm going to use Archdruid's Charm to search for a Regisaur or a Palani's Hatch, or possibly a Vaultborn. Well, that's a Thoughtseize. Now they're going to get rid of somebody big. I'm making 8. They're probably getting rid of Ghalta. They're probably just dead. Anyway, they can't win. They probably can't. Everybody's dropping. Do you have a third Thoughtseize to get rid of the other Ghalta that I grab after you get rid of her? That is the question. Oh, they have 3. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Maybe they don't. They are draining me quite a bit, but again, it could be actually Trumpeting Carnosaur to take that out. Let's do it. I like that. Drain. Oh my goodness, folks, look at that. I tapped 5 lands and made 8. Playing another Trumpeting Carnosaur. I think we might... Oh, what?
Ruthless aggression.
I think I outdid myself. If you were watching last night's stream, taking down Mono Green Devotion, that's always very good because Mono Green Devotion is rough for this deck. They have, well, even more explosive amounts of mana, but what I just did there, I think that was even more special, potentially. Absolutely nuts, but I think some of you are chatting. Okay. I forgot to put the chat on my secondary monitor, so that's why I'm not replying to anybody. Hopefully your week has been going good. Everybody's week. Mad Dad Lab, nice to see you there, and even if you haven't had a very good week so far, the start to it, we're going to have a good time here. Right now, later on, whenever it is, yeah. But yeah, definitely, that is a good point about the automaton. They see no small creatures. They still might think they got simply fortunate, perhaps, or unlucky, whatever you want to call it. They didn't see the Llanowar elves, the Elvish Mystic, all of that. They're like, oh, maybe I should keep in Fatal Push. I'll definitely see it in game 2. But again, yes, they could maybe take that out, realizing that there's no early little creatures to kill with the Fatal Push, and then in game 2, perhaps the automaton would have a better chance of surviving. I might try that out. But yeah, I was like, oh, I'm just going to leave the Carnosaur, and then I realized I can cycle it to take out the Mutavault, and they drain 6. They lost a creature and the land, and they lost 6 life. You can't beat that. Nice week. Oh, good. It has gone pretty warm here. I'm glad all the snow... There's still quite a bit of snow here, but you can imagine sort of northern Ontario, we get a little bit more than most. Yeah. Some people get more than us, but it's quite a bit. There's a couple feet. A couple feet at least on the sidewalk. Yeah. All right, Mangaloid. Watch out. Watch out. It's gotten up to probably 5 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but yeah. Spring is around the corner. I guess it's been a long winter. I like the snow. I'm never really bothered too much by the cold. I love shoveling. It's very good exercise. And they're taking a while to figure this out. Maybe they're scared. They're shook. They hit me with quite a few Thoughtseizes there. The hand hate, getting rid of the scariest card when your deck is just jam-packed of all kinds of scary stuff. You can turn the corner pretty quick when you drop a Ghalta, or they get rid of that and you play Vaultborn to gain life to have a blocker, then they kill it and you get a copy of it. If the original is destroyed, to gain more life, to draw more cards. Or Tyrranax Rex is simply played on turn 4 and you attack and they can't kill it because it has Ward 4. And did it lock up? I don't think it locked up. Maybe it did. Huh. Not sure what's going on here. I think they went AFK.
But you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Ooh. There is the... Yeah. There has been, at least it feels like there's been more glitches on Arena. Somewhat more. Huh. Well, how about that? Yeah, I think that probably tops. They're like, oh no, they're not going to get me. Maybe they forgot about the cycling, or they didn't realize about the cycling of Carnosaur to take out Mutavault. I didn't realize it until the very moment, which is also another good point about Trumpeting Carnosaur. I still may have gotten the job done, but you got to admit, Trumpeting Carnosaur better than Regal Imperiosaur. In that case, for sure. Well, and it was, I mean, if Trumpeting Carnosaur was Regal Imperiosaur, I wouldn't have taken out the Mutavault. I wouldn't have drawn a Palani's Hatcher, which was gotten by the second Trumpeting, which would have been a Regal Imperiosaur. You get the idea. Everything stacks up. It stops with one particular creature, and it explodes with potential with the Trumpeting Carnosaur. I think the sideboard definitely... It's pretty nice. I would hope most decks, whatever deck you're playing, is devastating to start in the main, and yeah, the sideboard can change quite a bit. But when it can be so scary and powerful to start, lots of big bodies, I think that's a very good sign. Scary for many people to face. There's probably a little bit of a risk sending Stomping Ground down there, but I feel like I probably don't need it, or I could probably just be dead as we face off against some sort of aggressive deck. I was hoping to see a Sunken or a Castle Garenbrig by this point. You would imagine I should have seen it by this point. One of 8 things. Well, we don't need a Carnage Tyrant. But yeah, 1 of 8 cards in the top quarter of the deck. There's a very good chance I should have seen 1 of 8 things in the top quarter, statistically speaking. I mean, at the very least, I'm playing Regisaur or Palani's Hatcher next turn. Oh boy. Maybe we'll get there. We never know. Or we will just die. The fog is going to be pretty fantastic in game 2, but yeah, you see the fantastic damage. Not quite the best of the best, but with 2 lands, things can get pretty darn scary, and I almost forgot to cast my Archdruid's Charm there. Sadly. Whew. That would not have been good. Okay. Definitely getting Palani's Hatcher again. Some of their creatures could get trampled with the spells that they use to pump them up, but I've got 3 blockers, so that's going to be the best chance to buy myself at least a little bit of time here. Yeah. It's going pretty good cut. It started off fantastically with the first match there, but again, I would imagine that. Actually, I want Palani's Hatcher to maybe take out the Soulscar Mage. Perhaps. We could also be. Oh, there's the Monstrous Rage. Are we dead? Not quite. Not quite. Close enough. Huh. Yeah, no, that's although maybe not. You know what? We'll get Regisaur Alpha. 2 bodies. Perhaps I can somehow live. But we also could just be dead from, I don't know, a bolt wave. Some sort of burn spell. Simply finishing us off being at 3 life. Usually does the trick. Oh, okay. Huh? Screaming Nemesis. All right. Oh, what am I thinking? Screaming Nemesis. Sadly, we are just dead. Either it deals 3 damage to us, or it dies and, well, it would still deal damage to us. Rough stuff. But Fog, certainly. Now, this is Boros Aggro, Boros Heroic, whatever you want to call it. Boros Burn, I guess, is what we should classify it as. With the Bolt Wave here, Burn Aggro, it's kind of a mixture, because you could just be all sorceries and instants, simply sending damage straight to the opponent's face and kind of not use those creatures. But yeah, a Fog for sure. Pit Automaton, I would say so. Trimming the Sylvan Scrying. We've got a bit of a blocker. Buy some time with that. Even if it stops a creature that has 3 power over 2 turns, and save myself taking 3 times 2, 6 damage. That could be all it takes, plus the Fog as well. But we do need to cut a little bit. I'll trim. I'll keep Carnage Tyrant. When I was facing off against quite a bit of aggro, I would trim Tyrranax Rex instead. Tyrranax Rex, it's a big thing that probably can't be targeted for 7. Carnage Tyrant is a big thing that can't be targeted for 6. So it costs a little bit less than T-Rex, and that's why Carnage Tyrant stays in. That's about it. But yes, definitely nice that things are getting honed to a fine point. I guess they always are, but perhaps even more than ever before. I've tried all kinds of suggestions. You guys continue to provide a bunch of suggestions, and it's always nice to have that. But it's nice to have finally gone through so many that I can be like, ooh, yeah, this didn't work because of this or that. I figured that hand would be, well, perhaps a little bit problematic. Automaton, lovely stuff. Next turn, Castle Garenbrig as well. Archdruid's grabbing a Sunken. Hopefully they don't have removal for the Automaton, but at the very least, hey, look, I got a blocker. 2 Castle Garenbrigs to start. It didn't mean that I was going to have 2 untapped on turn 2 to play it, but fortunately I saved myself and maybe it could pay off. Doesn't have reach. No, it doesn't have it. Saving myself from... Oh, that is interesting. Yeah. Now, I need a Sunken. I almost played the other Pit Automaton, but I can't use 4 colorless for Castle Garenbrig's ability. Keep that in mind. They're really mousing over the things. They're wondering what kind of shenanigans I might have up my sleeve. Okay, don't worry. It's not too bad. People are certainly going to be getting pumped up, I bet. Okay. Now, do I want to put a counter on it to... Nah. I'm just going to get the Sunken at this point. I still stop myself from taking a fair bit of damage. Either I save the Automaton and I tap for 2 for Castle, or Sunken. No, it's kind of the same thing. Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're dead, but if they don't kill us, we could kill them. Okay. We're probably dead, but 6, okay. 9. All right, they got another pump spell. Oh, yeah, they do. Okay. Nothing much you can do at that point. Those slick shots they were just going to get too big anyways. That was going to be the damage right there. They were both going to 5 power, and there was a slim chance that they might have left me with 1 or 2, as they did with the clip that I showed at the beginning. But then if I just barely survived, they would have died. I would have grabbed another Sunken Citadel, and their chances definitely would have sunken. But the Automaton certainly is going to take a fair bit of time to practice, for sure. We got enchantment hate with Back to Nature, graveyard hate, perhaps a little bit of artifact hate with Cease and Desist, fog for aggro, Pit Automaton just to go faster and maybe help a little bit against aggro. Crush the weak. Oh, okay. I mean, there's definitely things better than fog. The better thing than preventing combat damage for 1 turn is simply to kill the opponent's creatures. I have to try Crush the Weak at some point. You foretell it for 2 or 3. Later on you can spend, you can cast it for a single red, I'm pretty sure, and 1 red to deal 2 damage to each creature. That's pretty good. But it's also pretty good if this opponent is Azorius. 2 Cavern of Souls. This is going to be soulless. Oh, you can't let me do that. You can't do that. That is true. It's very important to point that out. Exiling. Oh, I'd like another Castle Garenbrig. You know they're going to have stuff. They're going to have that Lane Destruction. Oh, you got Field of Ruin coming in hot. Do it. Oh, you got counter spells. Well, I'm just going to play something you can't counter, can't kill. Now, of course, they could have settled the wreckage, but I'm going to be settling the debate that my way to play Dinosaurs is better, heavily favored against Azorius Control, if it ever was a debate. Yeah, but in back-to-back nights, because Azorius Control is not super common. I won't throw out a good game quite yet because we haven't won quite yet, but watch them, look at them, mousing over all those lands. It's like, hey, that's not fair. How'd they do this? Oh, that's not right.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Oh boy, sweep me. See how much I care. Do it. Oh man, how will I ever recover? Folks. Oh, nuts. Man, I wish I didn't just draw a second Tyrranax Rex.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Very, very anti-Space Marine. Space Marine from Warhammer 40K, I think. I forget. Maybe they take their pretty much entire turn off to kill it, spending a total of 6 potentially. Well, if you want to spend 6 to kill one of my creatures, fine by me. Absolutely. Play another Cavern of Souls. Okay, let me think. Certainly activating Castle Garenbrig. We got 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Regisaur Alpha. We have a little bit of mana left over. Will they have removal for the token is the question. I'm not too... Oh.
No.
I know. I didn't even get to cast it, but you saw there I had a couple lands left. I could have maybe used the map tokens on the dinosaur token itself to get it to 4 power for exactly lethal, but after the thrashing that I dealt them, that was going to be rough. This is also going to be rough. We have 3 green eventually. 3 green on turn 3. Archdruid's Charm to search for the Castle Garenbrig, possibly seeing it on top, maybe a cavern. Oh, another Sunken Citadel is perfectly fine by me. If I sense we might find an opening, I'll play the Force, but I am kind of tempted to go with the Sunken. Perhaps. Make them think that maybe I don't have something for 3. Authority of the this is good. I would say this is pretty good. Will I use Archdruids to get rid of Authority of the Consoles? Every creature I have enters tapped, and they gain life whenever a creature enters. It's not fun. I'm trying to see if they'll spend more than all their mana, really. I'm hoping they do that. Yeah, the Vaultborn Tyrant. Certainly want to keep the Tyrranax Rexes against this particular opponent. But I might even bring in Back to Nature. Which is pretty crazy to say. I don't think there's going to be too many scenarios where they spend a ton of mana. They're probably going to hold up 2 at the very least all the time. I would think. Maybe they'll spend it here. Yeah. Nah. I want to get rid of Vaultborn. Maintain everybody that gives haste. As much haste as humanly possible. Oh boy. No, well, we got a Sylvan Scrying. It's going to be countered. Well, we'll try. Oh, what is... Folks, you can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, at the end of the opponent's turn, we'll try and get rid of Authority of the Consoles, maybe. Pretty sure it will be countered, but still. Okay, I figured that would happen. Oh boy, what a surprise. Another Castle Garenbrig, of course, is quite nice indeed, but at least this, we don't get to connect with it. But this will draw out some sort of response from the opponent. Expensive. Oh, I never see a sweeper coming up. Oh, maybe no sweeper. I certainly play Carnage Tyrant. I couldn't attack with the second Tyrranax Rex. And it simply could be killed right here, but we'll attack. We'll see if we draw out the Wandering Emperor or something like that. Oh. They could also be waiting for a little bit more value from the sweeper that they're holding on. Okay. The sweeper that they're holding on to. Yeah. Play Tyrranax Rex. Let's go. Hope they don't have another sweeper. Probably do. Oh, okay. Not too bad. Still spending 6. It would be nice to play both Regisaur Alphas. I think I might try one. You know what? Let's try one. Draw out a counterspell here. Continue to make him spend that mana. It's going to be an uphill battle, I can tell you that much. Okay, well, maybe they'll run out of stuff at some point. Yeah. Try for Palani's. Get them spending their things. Hopefully seeing a Cavern of Souls at some point here. Okay, yeah. I gained some life back. I have some bodies. Eventually I will get that Archdruid's Charm. Now it might be perhaps a little bit better to maybe just pack it in, bring in that back to nature, just because there is that authority of the consoles. But we'll see. I could get a Cavern of Souls, drop Ghalta, dropping both Trumpeting Carnosaurs, and maybe Trumpeting Carnosaur would get the Archdruids, and then I cast that and get rid of authority, and well, we're in a pretty good position. Power up the Carnage Tyrant for sure, just getting closer to that Archdruids. Another castle, might as well. It gets me closer. More lands? I mean, you sure don't need any more lands at this point. But it's not like they have a crazy amount of cards in their hand. I guess they have a decent amount. Yeah. We just need to get rid of authority of the consoles. Okay. Commune to see if we get that cavern. Play the Ghaltas, maybe play an Archdruids. Yeah. To be expected. And again, I would expect there's a ton more counter spells somewhere in the mixture there. There isn't any real reason I see to try to play anybody. And maybe next turn I'll attempt a Trumpeting Carnosaur. I'm pretty sure. Well, no, maybe they won't sweep. They might have a bunch of sweepers in their hand, though. So they feel pretty safe to simply take out Carnage Tyrant. Another one. See if this draws out perhaps that Settle the Wreckage. Maybe. $10. Whew. 10 is rough. But But you know what's pretty good? I'm going to do 3 to that. And let's do another 3. Try and deal as much damage to the opponent and still take out that shark. Perhaps the only way to get rid of Carnage Tyrant is this. Maybe. Well, this didn't seem too terrible. Okay. Oh boy. I bet it's countered. Try for Palani's plus Regisaur Alpha this turn. And then maybe pack it in at this. Oh. I think they might not have a counter spell. Could be good. I feel like they don't. Or they have a sweeper and they were going to take out everybody anyways. Okay. I'm going to test the waters with this. We'll pack it in if this is countered, though. Move on to game 3. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Oof. No Cavern of Souls in sight. Absolutely nuts. Well, Back to Nature is... it's coming in. 100%. Trim that Trumpeting Carnosaur, the, I guess, least necessary thing. There's one thing that hurt me. That was Authority of the Console. So if we see it, we get rid of it. And yeah. Priority number 1. That hand, though, pretty perfect. 6 mana eventually. Of course, we will be getting our 4th land somewhere in the mixture. They can't counter Commune. So, ugh. Starting off with the Authority. Oh, my goodness. Definitely need that commercial district. It would be nice to have 3 green next turn. Archdruid's Charm at this point will be used to take out that Authority for sure. Yeah, I don't need a Palani's Hatcher. I mean, maybe it would have been good just to keep it. But will I play Tyrranax Rex next? Oh. Yes, I will, because you know what they can't do? They're mana screwed. They're not going to be killing it next turn. That's a fact. Authority of the Consoles is gone. I'm taking it out. Yeah, you could probably just quit at this point. That's what you get for bringing in Authority. I am the Authority. I am the judge, jury, and executioner. Look at that. Hey, that's not... No. How is this opponent making 7? They're losing their mind. Hey, this person just tapped 4 lands and they played a thing that's probably going to lose me the game. There you go. Oh, plus the Castle Garenbrig. Again, keep in mind, that Authority, gone. It's going. That's my focus. I'll try for Back to Nature. If that's countered, Archdruid's Charm takes it out, but... okay, well, not today. Not today. If they want to sweep next turn, just to take out T-Rex, we use Archdruids to search for Ghalta to kill them after they tap out Verdict. Oh, look. Look what happened exactly like I predicted. Boom. They lose. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You're in my house now. It's kind of like another Regisaur Alpha win. Huh. I know you can. I think they're a little frustrated. It's going to happen. Anybody that does one thing as much as I played Dinos, you're going to eventually get they're pretty good. You're going to find some sort of method to beat the things that were beating you. There's got to be some way to increase the win rate for sure, but it's crazy. Crazy cut. Yeah, at least one more match here. We'll go to hopefully about an hour. 45 minutes in, though. I have lots of tools to organize. I had 3 tools come in today, actually. I'll just show this for you quick if the automatic background will behave itself. I got the Flex 100 reciprocating saw. Lovely, lovely stuff. So a big blade cutting through, I don't know. It's kind of for like the demolition and stuff, but yeah. Lots of tool organizing. I've got the Dinosaurs on lock. I don't want to say autopilot because I'm always practicing keeping the teeth nice and sharp so I can rip through opponents. The dino teeth nice and sharp. But it's good. It's good. It's good to get to a point, and I think I've been at that point for a while, that you don't really get surprised by too much. Special K. I know I've faced Special K before. 90. Oh, it could be 5-color it could be 5-color Overlord enchantments, but then sometimes you get a perfect hand. Maybe 1 or 2. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can't stop me from making 6. But I don't think there's going to be any dinos in Tarkir. I would be pleasantly surprised, that's for sure. Yeah, like Trumpeting Carnosaur. Maybe. Oh, do we have Dimir bounce? Possibly. Oh. I beat Special K. They got mana screwed, kind of like that Azorius Control opponent did. What kind of deck is it? Of course, we didn't gain a whole lot of information. Dimir, black and blue. I would have to lean more towards Dimir bounce. This town ain't big enough. Those enchantments, Storm Chaser's talent, making those otters with prowess and bouncing, discarding. Yeah. They do, Mad Dad Lab. And like that hand was there. How instantly did I keep it? It was Sunken Commercial, Castle, and Stomping Ground. I was making 6, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They could have had Field of Ruin, but I'm making 6 green. You're not stopping me. There you go. Sylvan Scrying. If they knew what it's all about, Carnage Tyrant, I think maybe they could have gotten rid of that. But again, this is not uncommon, and that owes to some of the mistakes that opponents make. Simply being unfamiliar with what I could do and when I could do it, I get some wins in those cases. Oh.
What in the hell just happened? How did he do that?
Well, I'm not clickbaiting. I used the Diamond Tier 1 PNG icon on the stream thumbnail, and then I'm in Diamond 1, so it's not a lie. It's not clickbait. But you never know what you're going to get. I'll play another match because that was different. I don't know what I'll call that. Dimir ? In the stream chapters. Guess I'll see the achievements I got. Have 400 creatures with power 2 or less enter under your control over any number of games. Okay, that's pretty good. Of course, pretty much every dino that I play is massive, but I got that because of Palani's Hatcher putting the 2/0/1 dinosaur eggs out. Dimir Quitter. Yeah. Maybe I should say this town ain't big enough for 2 players. Then they packed it in because I'm the sheriff, the judge, jury, executioner. Somebody moseyed on into town, kicking up dust, causing a fuss, and they took one look at me and turned the other way. But I'm pretty sure I've faced that person before. Maybe it's been sort of 50-50. I feel like I've lost to them before. But again, keep in mind, they are in Mythic. You can't drop out of Mythic. So losing, I don't know, a few matches in a row doesn't really affect much of anything. Obeda. Yeah, no. Yeah, Castle Garenbrig in a 4. Oh, yes, please. 100%. Just in case it is Azorius Control, we'll send that Trumpeting Carnosaur to the bottom and keep that Cavern. No, it's not Azorius Control. Commune is gone, I bet. It's got to be Commune. If they know what they're doing, it's Commune. Oh, don't do that. You can't do that. Yeah, we'll get a Ghalta. There was no land whatsoever. So that means, because there was no land in the top 5, one should be coming up soon-ish. Either it's going to be a Sylvan Scrying or the Castle Garenbrig or another land. We need to get something soon. Oh. Huh.
You have no power here.
Well, I don't even know. What do I want to press?
Bazinga!
You got us. I thought Thoughtseize again, man. Vaultborn. No, maybe Ghalta. They don't. Oh. Huh. Could be bad still. I could draw a land that enters untapped and. Ouch. Ouch. Well, it's not a land that enters untapped, but we still get to hit him with the T-Rex, play another one next turn, plus Ghalta, which we don't get to attack with, but still. Maybe this is going to be enough. They know I'm about to drop another one. They can't let both connect, so they have some stuff to consider. Maybe it's a... Okay, that's something. Palani's Hatcher would pretty much lock things up. Ish. Might as well just play it. We have to be ruthlessly aggressive at this point. Hope for the best. That's all right. Yeah, definitely get rid of Archfiend of the Dross, 100%. Okay. 16, they can hit us for 12 in the air, but I have a blocker down below. I think we're safe. I'm pretty sure. Drain me for 2. Technically, I'm at 14 with the drain. If they unlocked it. Which I think they will. Oh, no. Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Copying. Fear of missing out. Demon connects twice. Make a... Well, maybe we're still okay. Reflection, copy, fear, missing out. Reflection, we'll see. I bet I don't know. It's going to be rough. It's a head scratcher for sure. It's hard to add up all the reflections, copying, fear, missing out to get an extra combat for another creature. But Ghalta can block the fear of missing out. Okay. Phew. We were pretty healthy, but still. When you have a Fable of the Mirror Breaker, or Reflection of Kiki Jiki, able to tap and copy big stuff, it does get a little bit scary. No. We'll keep it as is. Rakdos Midrange. And we'll see. It is kind of rough battling through Thoughtseizes, but still persevering. JDX, I know you love to see Leyline of Sanctity, giving myself hexproof, but the wins are even more satisfying when they can target me and I still get the job done. Maybe back to nature. Back to nature to take out Unholy Annex / Ritual Chamber. Stopping them from getting that 6/6 demon would be pretty good, but this hand seems really good now. 2 Sylvan Scryings, mostly guaranteeing that we're going to get at least 1 Sunken Citadel. Back to nature certainly could be good, could have been good, but there could have been scenarios where it really didn't do too much, where I might have preferred Trumpeting Carnosaur. That could take out the Fable, the Slasher. They could play Bloodletter of Aclazots next turn. You know what? I'm going to take the chance. Hope that they don't. If they play Bloodletter, we're dead just because of that little thing. We lose our entire life. Oh boy, don't play another Source of Black. Oh boy, no Bloodletter, don't do it. Oh man, that is scary stuff. But now we're in an absolutely good position. Ish. Kind of. I mean, it's still going to be pretty rough, but Trumpeting Carnosaur to get rid of that Slasher, a bunch of Mutavaults making themselves into creatures, 2 Mutavaults. Really, that's it's not good. Maybe somehow we can live a bit. If we draw Ghalta, we're able to make 8, and we would kill him that way. We draw Ghalta, we win. Got that clip ready. That's not Ghalta, unfortunately. Now can we buy ourselves enough time? I guess is the question. Palani's Hatcher, that's what it has to be. We need as many blockers as humanly possible. I mean, I'm certainly not attacking with just a 3/3. They're at 24. I think we could still live. We need Ghalta next turn, I believe. Oh, wait, did you want to fail to push Palani's Hatcher? No. She has a mana value of 5. Oh, Heartless Act. That is good. Ghalta next turn. Let's do it. No. Yeah, it's quite flooded, sadly. But let's evaluate, though. Mad Dad Lab. With that back to nature, could it have been pretty impactful? Yeah, maybe one of these lands potentially could have been a back to nature instead. Of course, I'm not saying I would cut a land to make space for back to nature, but yeah, I'll keep it as is. I still feel pretty good. All right, let's do it. Ooh. Now, the Thoughtseize would rip the Sylvan Scrying. I don't even start off with a Sunken or a Castle. Maybe a little bit better. It could get quite a bit better, but it could get quite a bit worse. Yeah, definitely reasonable. You know what? I send Cavern to the bottom. I send Cavern only to the bottom because it's not like Cavern helps to cast Archdruids. I might as well have had 2 lands anyways. Because Cavern can't help cast it. I'm hoping to go off with at least 1. Sunken Citadel next turn would be pretty ideal. Rough. Okay. Maybe it's safe. Cross your fingers. Cross your finger, please. No Thoughtseize. No duress. Don't do it. No. Oh. Well, how about that? Bing, bang, boom. Recovery and a half. I like it. I like it a lot. We can't play Palani's or Regisaur. Oh. Okay, so that's what you want to do.
Grant me revenge. And if you do not listen, then the hell with you.
Thoughtseize, go. You can go get a loss. Or something like that. Nothing much to do in those situations, and hope for a sunken? It's not a sunken, but we definitely need a land at this point. A Vaultborn Tyrant next turn would be pretty darn ideal. There's not a Vaultborn on the bottom, and we're past a quarter of the way through the deck. So there's a reasonable chance that a Vaultborn could be the thing that's coming up. Hopefully it's not Ritual Chamber or Arcfiend. No, Shieldred is not great. Not great at all. I can't play Trumpeting Carnosaur, unfortunately. Yeah, that's too bad. I would imagine that's going to be all it. Thoughtseize, go blank. Duress, Thoughtseize, go blank, Thoughtseize. JDX, I think I jinxed myself mentioning Leyline of Sanctity. Whew. Our only potentially saving thing would be getting a land, playing Ghalta, Trumpeting Carnosaur, getting a Regisaur, or Palani's Hatcher. Yeah. Okay, this is pretty good. Rough. Oh, double Unholy Annex, draining me for 4-2. Okay, let's not get too excited. We'll wait and see if we get a land that enters untapped, but that is going to be it, I think. Huh? That's not a land that enters untapped, and that is definitely going to do it. So, yeah, I think I probably should have taken your suggestion for that Back to Nature. Even at the very least, let's say I had 2 cards in my hand. One of them was Back to Nature, and one of them, whatever. But the go blank, making me get rid of the only 2 cards I have. If one was Back to Nature, at the very least I could have responded with that to take out the Unholy Annexes if they had them. Oh, you can't win them all. There has been some fantastic wins tonight and yesterday for sure. But overall, lovely. Lovely. The Automaton, will it stay? How necessary is it? Is something more necessary than the Automaton in some certain matchup? I don't know. There's so much potential for completely different matches if you face off against the same deck. It could be Rakdos Midrange again, if I was going to do a second one, and things could be absolutely perfect the first 2 games. It might not even go to 3. They might not have Shieldred. They might never play Go Blank. I'm still up with 2 cards, and yeah, all kinds of wacky, crazy scenarios where a sample size is very important. You have a couple strings of matches where, oh yeah, this card would help in such a way, but spread out over 100 matches, that card that helps in some way, it doesn't really show up too often. The scenarios where it proves its worth and then it's not as worth. Maybe in 10 matches out of 100, it's really useful and good. And you had 5 of those 10 matches all together. I don't know. Perspective is good, but things are getting better and better. I love doing this. I love streaming. Dinosaurs for life, and yeah, so wish me luck organizing my tools, continuing to do that, and hopefully everybody has some good rest. Get some good rest wherever it is, whenever it is. Well, safe drive, stay warm, even though things are warming up, and yeah, peace. Have a good one. And don't forget, take a big bite out of that like button.